If there is a tropical paradise on earth, it is this. It is this. You are looking at the Western Ghats, a mountain range starting from south of the Tapti River in Maharashtra, all the way down to Kanyakumari in the southern tip of India. This 1,600-kilometer long range, also known as the Sahyadris, forms an almost unbroken mountain fortress running parallel to the west coast of India and often hardly 40 kilometers from the Arabian Sea. The only geographical break in this long mountain chain is the Palghat Gap in Kerala. It is a pass about 30 kilometers wide that acts as a corridor between the states of Kerala and Tamil Nadu. The flora and fauna is almost similar in both the north and south of the Palghat Gap. However, a few species like the red disc bush brown butterfly and the extremely rare lady slipper orchid of Agastyamalai are found only south of the gap. A rapidly dwindling but precious ecosystem known as the Myristica swamps was also first documented in the Shendurni and Kolattupura forests of the southern Western Ghats. These are tropical freshwater swamp forests with an abundance of Myristica trees that are the wild relatives of spices such as nutmeg and mace. In recognition of such immense natural treasures, the Western Ghats was accorded a UNESCO World Heritage status in 2012. In Kerala, the frontiers of the Western Ghats are bordered by the Aralam Wildlife Sanctuary in the north and the Pepara Wildlife Sanctuary in the south. Sandwiched between these are the 5 national parks of Kerala: the Silent Valley National Park, Iravikulam National Park, Madikettan Shola National Park, Pambadum Shola National Park, and Anamudi Shola National Park. The Western Ghats harbours the country's last remaining rainforest, the Silent Valley in northwestern Palakkad district in Kerala. It is the most well-known national park in the state, both nationally and internationally. The British who undertook the first organised exploration of the forest named it the Silent Valley because of the unusual absence of cicadas or the noisy insects in the core area of the forest. These pristine evergreen forests, estimated to be around 50 million years old, have mythical association with the Pandavas in Indian mythology. Legend says that they took refuge here during their last year of exile. Spellbound by the beauty of the wilderness, they named the river which flows through the forest as Kuntipura in honor of their mother, Kunti. In the mid-1970s, the river Kuntipura was in the eye of an ecological storm, following a proposal to construct a hydroelectric dam across the river. But the people of Kerala acted as one, protesting against such a move. The Save Silent Valley campaign became the country's first successful people's movement for conservation. It finally resulted in the formation of the Silent Valley National Park in 1984, which was inaugurated by the then Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. Forest Department vehicles take visitors to the national park from Mukkali to Sairandri, an interesting ride of 20 kilometers. In the Silent Valley, a swish of the branches could be any of the mammals at large in the evergreen rainforests. The Malabar giant squirrel, the most beautiful of all squirrels, is endemic to the Western Ghats. Its feeding posture is rather bizarre as it has to balance its entire body weight between the forked branches. Or it could be the glossy black monkey, the Nilgiri langur, with yellow tinted hair on its head and a characteristic long tail that hangs like a pendulum. Endemic to the southern Western Ghats, this primate forages on plants and is a strict vegetarian. The flagship species of the Silent Valley National Park is, of course, the lion-tailed macaque, or LTM. Its 25-centimeter long tail has a black tuft at its end, and its resemblance to a lion's tail is particularly striking. This primate is also endemic to the Western Ghats. Shy and elusive, it has a simple stomach well adapted to a diet of fruits, seeds, and insects. Their favorite diet is a prickly fruit of the Culenia exarillata, a keystone tree species of the Western Ghats. Over the years, the population of both these primates has come down drastically, owing to habitat disturbance and destruction. Currently, there are hardly 4,000 LTMs left, of which a viable population lives safely here in the Silent Valley National Park. A climb up the 30-meter Sairandri watchtower offers a panoramic view of the Silent Valley. Both sunrise and sunset are amazing when viewed from the watchtower. The soft early morning sunshine filters through the green canopy and lights up the valley in golden hues. The valley stirs to life. The long-pierced call of the iridescent blue-black Malabar whistling thrush, which sounds like a cheeky schoolboy, is the best wake-up call. The valley is home to about 150 species of birds, such as the Kerala laughing thrush, scimitar babbler, black bulbul, Malabar trogon, white-bellied tree pie, Malabar grey hornbill, great pied hornbill, and many more. The winding 2-kilometer jungle trail from Sairandri to River Kuntipura is a naturalist's delight. The road less travelled slices through thick undergrowth of fallen leaves that form a leafy carpet. Along the way, you can spot medicinal plants such as the Cisalpinia crista, a liana with big thorns, wild jamba or syzygium, and the beautiful flowers of the endemic Thunbergia mysorensis. An injured owlet moth lay motionless on the ground, making for a perfect photo opportunity. Just before one crosses the suspension bridge across the Kuntipura, you can find one of the rarest trees of the Western Ghats, the Cassine Kedarnathii. Not more than a handful of these trees currently grow in the entire Western Ghats. So is the Malabar Daffodil, Ipsia malabarica, a rare ground orchid. It was thought to be extinct, but was rediscovered in the grasslands of Silent Valley in 1983 after a lapse of more than 100 years. This golden-colored orchid grows adjacent to another very rare grass species, Silent Valley Nairii, found only in this forest. In the eternal silence of the crisp mountain air, we can hear ourselves. Undulating hills, green meadows, gurgling streams, wind whistling through the trees, songs of the birds, and the rise and fall of our breaths. Such are the sounds in silence. This is the picture postcard perfect Iravikulam National Park in Idukki district of Kerala. Bordering the southern fringe of this 97 square kilometer national park stands the majestic Moody Peak. The word Moody roughly means an elephant's forehead, and the peak is so called for its resemblance to an elephant's forehead. The 2,695-meter, 8,842 feet peak is the highest peak south of the Himalayas. The first organized ascent of Moody was by General Douglas Hamilton of the Madras Army on May 4, 1862. Standing spellbound on the top of the peak, he exclaimed, "Surpassingly grand and incomparably beautiful." The views from this mountain are the grandest and most extensive I have ever beheld. This is far beyond my power to describe, and which must be seen to be appreciated. Here in this national park, the flagship species is the famous Nilgiri Tahr. This stocky, high-altitude mountain goat, Nilgiri tragus hylocrius, is endemic to the Western Ghats. George Schaller, the legendary American field biologist, described the Nilgiri Tahr as the mountain monarch. Popularly known as Varayade, which means the mountain goat, it inhabits grasslands adjoining rocky cliffs and mountain precipices. This nimble-footed goat executes acrobatic leaps across sheer perpendicular cliffs. Surely, no one can be as sure-footed as a mountain goat. From the entrance of the national park, tourists are taken in minibuses to Rajamalai, the tourism zone. The bus alights near the information center that provides visitors a comprehensive overview of the history and special features of Iravikulam National Park. The stars of the national park, of course, are the Nilgiri Tahrs. Nowhere else but in Rajamalai are such close encounters with these shy mountain goats possible. But do remember, they are wild goats, and hence resist your urge to pet them or pose for photographs with them. Not long ago they were on the brink of extinction, but the efforts of a few conservationists and strict protection measures saved the animal from becoming a mere memory. Today, Iravikulam has the largest viable population of the Nilgiri Tahrs. Of the total 2,000 or so, about 800 live here. The park is closed every year from January to March to coincide with the arrival of the newborn Tahrs. Besides the Tahr, the crowning glory of the Iravikulam National Park is a once in 12 years blooming of the wild Neela Kurunji, Strobilanthes kuntianum, that carpets the hillsides in a blue tapestry. The last such floral spectacle was in 2006. Other than the day visits to the tourism zone, there are a few trekking opportunities for the more adventurous visitor. This trekking program inside the tourism zone of the park lets you experience the abundance and splendor of the Shola grasslands. As you stroll by a streamlet, you are sure to notice the lovely, colorful and delicate flowers that grow near wet rocks. These are the wild balsams or impatiens for which the high ranges are famous. Among the 80 species of impatiens found in the Western Ghats, more than 40 grow in Iravikulam National Park. Many of them are found nowhere else in the world. The high ranges of the Western Ghats harbour a unique ecosystem, the Shola forests. Shole means a thick forest or cool place. The Western Ghats landscape of Iravikulam National Park and the adjoining Madikettan Shola, Pambadum Shola and Anamudi Shola National Parks are a Shola paradise. In these places, wedged between the folds of the rocky high ranges, are the sholas or high elevation evergreen forests interspersed with grasslands. Even from a distance, it is easy to spot the shola canopy of short-stunted evergreen trees that fan outwards like millions of green umbrellas clustered together. The Madikettan Shola National Park can be approached via Sandanapara on the Munnar-Kumili High Road. Notified as a reserve forest by the government of Travancore in 1897, it was elevated to the status of a national park in 2003 on account of its rich floral, faunal and ecological diversity. When you walk through a shola forest, you lose sense of time. No wonder the word Madikettan means mind confuser. An obvious reference to the fact that one loses the path when in this forest patch. The smallest of the national parks in the state is Pambadum Shola in Marayur of Idukki district. Pambadum roughly means a place where the snakes dance and is located on the highest motorable road south of the Himalayas. The Forest Department at Pambadum Shola National Park organizes Shola treks as part of their ecotourism initiatives. One enters the forest through a steep climb in a four-wheel jeep expertly negotiated by the driver. Being inside a shola forest is like going back in time. The giant tree ferns stand like silent sentinels that have witnessed the passage of time. The tree trunks are encrusted with moss, lichens, climbers and other epiphytes. A shola walk tells us that the forest is not just about tiger and the larger animals. It is about the interdependence of all life forms and their interconnectedness in the web of life. A fallen tree trunk in a forest is not just dead wood. It is a safe haven for many life forms such as these millipedes and beetle grubs. On yet another log, you find thousands of brown daddy longlegs with an emerald green center clustering round in feverish activity. Sholas are natural humidifiers and act as sponges as they absorb and retain moisture. The many rivulets and streams that crisscross the shola make it a place where the earth, fire, air, water and the wind sing an elemental symphony. Yes, in the forests lurk ecological treasures that we don't know or care about. And yet these are the secrets that have sustained the planet for billions of years. Why do we need to protect and conserve our natural heritage? Because the earth is closing on us. Where should we go after the last frontier? Where should the birds fly after the last sky? Where should the plants sleep after the last breath of air? It is clearly now or never.